Shalom, giving all praise to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai B'Hashem Rukakodash. Shalom to the 144,000. And the rest of the elect out there, shalom to you all. And I'm going to entitle this video, "And More Uproars of the People." I'm going to give you two precepts out of maybe three. Let's see where the Spirit takes me out of the Apocrypha. Maybe the Spirit will lead me to also go into the regular scriptures, which the Apocrypha is part of the original King James, so that's scripture too. But anyway, so the title that you see here is "Chaos in Nepal. Government bans social media over misinformation. Furious protesters torch parliament." So my title is "And More Uproars from the People," which is right here in and these are just signs at the end, that's all. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 9 verse 3. I'm going to read the third verse and I'm going to jump into the first verse and read down to I don't know, let's see. And this is like when you come down to the fifth verse. Yeah, the fifth verse. Well, let's just go ahead and read it. 2nd Ezra chapter 9 in the Apocrypha. Which means sent away cryptically or sent away hidden. That's why most churches out there, they never even heard the Apocrypha. Roman Catholics, they deal with the Apocrypha. Protestants don't. That's one of the things that the Protestants protested about is the Apocrypha. They said, no, we ain't in the Apocrypha. We ain't accepting that. So it says from the first verse, "He answered me then and said, measure down the time diligently in itself." And this is what we do. What time are we, like they say, what time is it? What time is it? Hawk time. What time is it? Hawk time. If you go way back, talking about Aaron Pryor, we call him Hawk. But what time is it? It's the time of the end. When you go to Habakkuk chapter 2, you really got to read chapter 1, because chapter 2, the Most High answers the complaints of Habakkuk. So he says, look, there's going to be a time where these prophecies are going to come to pass, and you're going to know when they come to pass. So don't rush them. You got to wait patiently. I remember High Priest Ariah in Saturday class, we talking 40 years ago. He would go into Habakkuk 2 and read the first 3 verses. Read the whole chapter, but the first 3 verses he would focus on. And he said there's going to be a time where all hell's going to break loose. We're obviously not in that time, because back in the mid-'80s, early 80s, it wasn't really all that bad. Now, I would say from the time of to put a stamp on it, the time of the sea ragamuffin, that's when everything pretty much changed. I mean, things were going down. You had bad outlooks, government outlooks, and you rallied to get a Democratic president in there or Republican. But we getting fucked over whether it's a Democrat or Republican. And the first time Nero, I call him Nero. You don't know what I'm talking about, ask somebody. Nero, when he first came in the office, it was all, remember what's this guy? George Floyd case. There was all kind of chaos. and that was some months after the sea ragamuffin. You know, you couldn't. I never experienced a what do you call it? Lockdown. That's what it was. Curfew. You had to be in the house by 8 o'clock. Now I was still out there after 8 o'clock. I saw police. I waved to them. Hey, what's up? And they say, what's up? You know, wherever I want, I'd be in the car, whatever. But I remember when the sea ragamuffin, when all hell broke loose, you go to the supermarket, you had to wait on the long, or any store, Targets or BJ's or whatever, you had to wait on the long line to come in. When you got your stuff, shelves were bare. You could get anything pretty much you want post sea ragamuffin, right? Then they were putting pressure on you. A lot of people lost jobs. A lot of people said, fuck your job, I'm not doing this shit. And they wound up calling them back. Do you want your job back? And paying them for them being out. And there was a lot of lawsuits going on. But like I said, some months after that, you had the George Floyd thing and all, and there was all kind of chaos was going on. And Nero was behind it. He held up the Bible upside down in front of a church. And this guy, he's a god of chaos, man. He's that cruel Lord, but he wasn't as cruel his first term as he is now. He just, he just said to hell with it. He's in Chicago. I'm going to keep my eye on Chicago. You men out there in Israel, I'm not just talking about GMS, I'm talking about GMS, IUCBK, IUIC, any of you Israelites out there, the former One Westers, be careful out there and don't get into no mess with no police. You got your IDs together. I was born here, here's my status, this, that, and the third, because they're coming after the Northern Kingdom and the Southern Kingdom. You had these YNs talk about, look, man, they ain't coming over here because we got switches. That is Edomite. It's kind of going viral. Edomite was cracking me up. He said the only switch you need to get is a switch that your mama gave you when she licked your backside or whatever. And that's kind of going viral. And I ain't even mad at the Edomite because he's telling the truth. He's saying you got to be crazy. Jacob's saying you got to be crazy to go up against the U.S. military. We got switches. Yeah, you're gonna get switched. You're gonna get switched from the three-dimensional world to the fourth dimensional world, the world of the fourth dimension, the spirit. Where the hell am I at? And where am I switch at? Well, you in the spiritual realm, my nigga. But you're gonna be righteous, so that's a good thing. Anyway, let me go ahead and read that. Please forgive me for the rant. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself. It is the same thing that the up one told, the Supreme told Habakkuk. And when thou seest part of the signs past, did not he tell that to Habakkuk, which I have told thee before, then thou shalt understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. And he's visiting them through the ships, the eyes. Okay, let me do something here. I believe I think it's 2nd Chronicles, but let me do this. Let me do it this way. This is kind of cheat code. Let it come on up. Okay. Let me do this. Okay, this is it. But I want it in the King James. That's the ESV, obviously. Let's get into King James. Okay, for the eyes of Yahweh run to and fro throughout the whole earth. The UFOs, the ships. When you see the ships, the chariots, those are the eyes of them. The angels are the eyes of the Most High. We're the mouths, the angels are the eyes. For the eyes of Yahweh run to and fro throughout the whole earth to show himself strong in the behalf of them whose heart is perfect, that represents us. Toward him, herein thou hast done foolishly, therefore from henceforth thou shalt have wars. So who is it talking about? It's talking about a king of Asa imprisons a prophet. And at that time, Hanani, the seer, which is the prophet, came to Asa, king of Judah, and said, because thou hast rallied on the king of Syria. So it's talking about this king of Judah, Asa. He said, the angels see everything. My eyes see everything. Ultimately, he said, every time you turn around, you're gonna be in the midst of war. Let's come on back. Therefore, when thou shalt be seen earthquakes, when there shall be seen earthquakes, and uproars of the people in the world in the oikomeni sense, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High, spake of these things, or those things, from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. He showed Moses the beginning of time, middle of time, end of time. He showed Solomon the beginning, middle, and ending. He showed several prophets the ending. He showed certain heathen, the ending. I always use the example of Balaam, the Midianite, and the king of Babylon, Neo-Babylon, Nebuchadnezzar, and was there any others? It was, well, then prophets in general, that the major prophets, Israelite prophets, saw the end. So we're definitely in the end. The last few prophecies that will come to pass. The next big thing is the mark of the beast. When the mark of the beast is made mandatory throughout the whole planet Earth, then we'll be out of here inside of could be a month, 2 months. Everything gonna speed up. That's when you know. That's when you really get your mind set. Your mind's supposed to be set now. You can see the signs. We're in the fulfillment of Habakkuk 2. We're in the fulfillment of the precept that we're reading right now, or 2nd Ezra chapter 9. And the word world is the whole planet. 4th verse, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. Even in Isaiah. Let me go to that. Let me see if I can get this combination. I think it's 42 and 9. Let's see. I used to always bring it out. 42, Isaiah 42 and 9. Let's see if I'm correct. Yep. Behold, the former things are come to pass, and new things do I declare. Before they spring forth, I tell you of them. That's prophecy. We say that we've been saying this for years, since we got on YouTube, that they're gonna put a microchip in you. I was watching the movie Idiocracy, and it's on YouTube. So I watched damn near the whole movie. I got up 4 in the fucking morning. Couldn't go back to sleep. Normally I get a good sleep, but I woke up. And every time I saw it, there was a scene where this guy had to go to court. And you had the people in the court. And it was so fucking stupid. The first thing I thought about is Christians. How you got like a guy like God Logic and Vocab and certain others that they have a working knowledge of the scriptures, but you got a crowd with them. They stupid as a rock, as a stone. Hey, yeah, Jesus. When I saw that, hey, you got to watch that. You got to watch that movie, Idiocracy. It's free on YouTube. You get like a commercial here and there. And they showed you like America around this time, right? It was in the 90s, I think it was based in the 90s. And then through the years, people just got stupider and stupider and stupider. And this guy was like an average guy, but he was the smartest. That he was deemed to be because he came from the past. He was deemed to be the smartest man on the planet Earth, and he was just a regular guy. And the president. When you see the president, the name of the president is President Camacho, which he's a Jake. What's his brother? The brother that he played in Training Day. He was a guy flipping birds. He's clapping. He showed his back. You know that Jake. I can't even remember his name. I believe he played for the NFL, either NFL or AFC. But he played the president. He had when I saw him, I said, man, that's, and his cabinet, I said, man, they talking about Nero. They talking about Nero, you know? If you watch that movie, you're going to think about this administration. You're going to think about people, everyday people that you walk, you walk down the street and come into contact with. But mainly you're going to think of Christians. Because you have a handful of Christians that can navigate through the Bible, but pretty much the rest of them, they're just followers. Yay! Yay! I mean, you gotta have a low IQ to be a Christian. That's the topic right there. You gotta have a low IQ. Now, the ones that are smart, they're in it for the money. They're in it for control. They're in it for the galleys. Anyway, so the most important part about this book right now, the scriptures, the Bible, are the prophecies, because we're in the midst of these prophecies. So it says, behold, the former things are come to pass. Moses going through the wilderness, and the Israelites in Egypt, Mizraim, the flood, Noah, and all these different things, right? They already came to pass. So now, Most High dealing with new things, giving you new prophecy, which is coming to pass in our time, right? So you got to identify it. Sing unto Yahweh a new song. We're singing a new song. And it's because Christianity is an old song. It's the wrong song. So we're singing the right song. Praise from the end of the earth, other side of the earth. That's another scripture. The west. So we're supposed to sing this song in the West, the Western Hemisphere, Canada, America, Central and South America, mainly America. Ye that go down to the sea, and all that is therein, the isles and the inhabitants thereof. And the rest, and you know, this word gets echoed through the internet. Do you really believe that Bishop Nate is going to have 10,000, 15,000, 50,000, whatever, 100,000? Do you believe he could have did that without the help of the net? Hell to the goddamn no. That's the fulfillment of Psalms 19. Read the first 5 or 6 verses of that. That's the internet. We call it the internet. So now let's go to Isaiah. Back still in Isaiah 46 and 10. The basic scriptures. I'll go right to it. Declaring the end from the beginning and from ancient times, the things that are not yet done. So there's prophecies that is yet to happen, but it's going to happen in our generation, saying, my counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure. He's going to do what he wants to do. What he said he's going to do is going to come to pass. So let's go back. Fourth verse spoke about the uproars of the people. And so thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like as all that is made in the world have a beginning and end, and the end is manifest. Whose end is manifest? We're going to get into that in a minute. Even so, the times also. So the 5th verse is a very, very important verse. Read it again. For like as all that is made in the world, everything that's made in the world, oikomeni sense, have a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. Whose end is manifest? That's the question. Even so, the things, even so, the times also of the highest have plain beginnings and wonders and powerful works, the endings and effect and signs. So we're in somebody's end and we're in our beginning. And everyone that shall be saved, delivered, and shall be able to escape by his works. What is your work? When you go out, when you eat this roll and go out and teach the house of Israel, right? And by faith, whereby ye have believed, shall be pressured from this preserved. I'm sorry, this kind of got me as you preserved. That's a V. From said perils, and shall see my salvation. There goes again a U, supposed to be a V. In my land, and within my borders, for I have sanctified them for me, the Israelites, starting with the elect, from the beginning. Then shall they be in pitiful case, which now have abused my ways, and they that have cast them away despitefully shall dwell in torment. It's not talking about hell. They're gonna get caught out there. But the main verse I wanted was the 3rd verse, uproars of the people. And then you can go to 2nd Ezra's 15 and 15. Start the 14th verse, read the 15, maybe the 16th verse. It speaks about them, how they're not going to regard their kings or their princes. And the power is going to be in their hands. I'm not going to go to it. But anyway, now, yesterday, I did a video. Let me do this. Bear with me for a minute. Let me go here. Bear with me for a minute. Bear with me for a minute. Sometimes I'll do 3, sometimes 4 videos, sometimes 2. Okay, where is it? Where is it? They attacked this oh, here it is, right here. Indonesia. This was in the news as of yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. They shall not regard their kings nor princes. Indonesian protesters burned down government building. So that's Indonesia. This here is, and this is the day after, chaos in Nepal. Government bans social media over misinformation. Furious protesters torch parliament, government building. So I'm going to play it. This is Dabu 77. And this is fair use, fair use, fair use. So let's listen. 2 minutes long, then I'm going to close.
This is Dabu 7, and we have all-out chaos breaking loose in Nepal as the government tried to put a ban on social media, and the people have revolted en masse. Most of the media outlets trying to say that this is largely Generation Z that is taken to the streets. It looks like men of all ages in these clips, and it looks like an all-out revolution. With guns and everything else, they're going up in here, taking over everything. At this point, they report that fires have been set to the Parliament, to the Supreme Court, to the President's office.
Oh, they ain't playing, man. Now, what you have in Nepal is this group of elite soldiers called the, what are they called? From Nepal, the Gherkins, if I'm not mistaken. And you can find out more about that by watching the Linda Thompson video that was put out in the early 90s. I forget the name of it, but it was Linda Thompson, and she went into that whole thing about the Gherkins. Fearsome soldiers, not afraid to die. I think it's called America Under Siege. I'm gonna go double check that.
To government buildings, hotels, politicians' houses. And as I said before, they're dragging them out of their homes and into the streets. As this is turning chaotic. This is one of the biggest palace embassies in all of Asia that they broke into, lit on fire. They did the same thing to several places. This is how the ex-PM's wife apparently was burned alive.
Oh
in
my
all
goodness.
this. Although I will say in the footage, which I'm not going to show because it's
They ain't fucking around. Let me bring that back.
Footage. His wife lit on fire in all of. This is one of the biggest palace embassies in all of Asia that they broke into, lit on fire. They did the same thing to several places. This is how the ex-PM's wife apparently was burned alive.
Ex-PM, Prime Minister's wife, they roasted that bitch.
In all this, although
they ain't even fucking around, bro.
In all of Asia that they broke into, lit on fire. They did the same thing to several places. This is how the ex-PM's wife apparently was burned alive in all this. Although, I will say, in the footage, which I'm not going to show because it's graphic, she seems to still be moving on the ground when they pull her out, but she succumbed to her injuries, and she died nonetheless.
Oh, they killed that bitch. They killed the Prime Minister's wife. Killed their ass. They ain't fucking playing. Yesterday, in Indonesia, they did the same thing. And this is going to happen around the world. The people around the world, they don't trust their leaders, man. No more.
And it seems to be going down in a chaotic fashion in Nepal. The government getting lit up by the people at this point, and the military taking the social media, trying to call for calm, but a social media that has been blocked. So the people rising in the streets all across the place here, and this is something to keep an eye on. I'll update as I get more information. Follow me on X for updates, and join me for the live streams Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern, right here on Dabu 77, where I'm talking about this and a whole lot more. Much love.
So you have it right here. Let me do this. Chaos in the. Let's do this. Chaos in Nepal. "11 hours ago, Nepal burns in chaos amid Generation Z protests, violence as army takes over curfew." So they set up a curfew. New York Times: troops deploy after days of violent protests in Nepal. YouTube volunteer restoration after chaos in Nepal. In other words, they can't say what they say. They cut, like they're doing on YouTube, allow you say certain things. They'll cut you. This is 3 hours ago. South China Morning Post: Nepal's Gen Z accused people with political agendas for chaos in capital. Watch youth volunteer restoration after chaos in Nepal. Nepal protesters scared Indian National Court in chaos. Because the people of Nepal are not Indian. They might be Jake. Let me go to news. So the prophecies are popping like popcorn. 3 hours ago, Nepal's Gen Z, or Generation Z, accused people with political agendas for chaos in capital. Hundreds of Israelis stranded. Oh, they got caught up in this mess. Hundreds of Israelis stranded as national chaos royals rules Nepal. That looks like a type O. Prime Minister quits. 19 killed. Chaos on streets. What next for Nepal? So it's saying pretty much the same thing. Army in Chicago. Let's see what comes up. Okay, this is all old stuff. Okay, this is 18 hours ago. Army veteran from Plainfield, Illinois sues VA for medical malpractice. Well, they ain't gonna tell you what's going on. 2 weeks ago, 1 week ago. The hell happened? Let me do it this way. Trump orders Army to Chicago. Let's see what happens. They give me 5 days ago, 6 days ago. Okay, this is military.com. Chicago braces for potential National Guard deployment amid Trump threats. So this is chaos. We are witnessing wars and rumors of wars, uproars of the people. Cruel Lord. Christians don't know that this is prophecy coming to pass. Trying to keep it out the news. Let me do this. Okay, I don't need this anymore. Two hours ago, news about Chicago, Donald Trump. 2 hours, news about Chicago, Donald Trump. Two weeks ago, 6 days ago, 7 days ago. If you can't see that this is a cruel Lord in Isaiah 19, you must be a Christian. It was 7 days ago. Look at this. It's like a media block. Okay, let's see. America on high alert, Trump to crush Chicago crime. Trump live, Trump deploys National Guard in Chicago, armed, I believe. Trump latest news, Trump crime crackdown. You know, this place is built on crime. These guys are practicing, these YNs are practicing the American way. This is the American way. Okay, this is live, National Guard deployed. Trump live, Donald Trump deploys National Guard in Chicago as part of major crime crackdown. Well, the whole country, there's crime all over the place. Anyway, shalom, on to the next shalom.